This girl is named Rio, 20 years old and a top student at Japan's prestigious Keio University. However, she has been keeping a secret from her family. She works as a hostess. Despite earning a considerable income from this job, sometimes up to $30,000 USD per month, she lives in a modest rental and faces significant debt. When the TV program followed up and exposed her story, many viewers described it as one of the most genuine and inspiring stories they had ever heard. It turns out, this was part of a popular Japanese variety show called Can We Visit Your Home? The show focuses on interviewing people who missed the last train home, covering their taxi fares in exchange for filming their home life. As a result, the program has captured numerous heartfelt and authentic stories. Rio is a girl the production team met at Shinjuku Station in a taxi. She joked, "Actually, my mom really disapproves of me working in the service industry. Now that I'm on your show, if she finds out, I'm toast." When she got home and opened the door, she found several big bags of smelly garbage. The house was a mess. Obviously, no one bothered with serious cleaning. Rio felt embarrassed and kept awkwardly covering her mouth, laughing. Quickly changing the subject, she hopped onto her TV cabinet and showed the production team her favorite hats. They complimented her cuteness, and she blushed, continuing to smile shyly. The production team also noticed a talisman on top of the cabinet. Rio explained it was because her boyfriend was having an unlucky year, so they got it together from a shrine. After that, Rio showed the production team a photo of her boyfriend. She mentioned her boyfriend actually works in a nightclub. They hit it off and have been living together ever since. Their home was filled with their life, clothes everywhere, and the fridge packed with ingredients. Under the table were Rio's favorite comics, and underneath those were her study materials. At this point, the production team asked, "Why did you choose to apply to Keio University?" Rio replied, "Honestly, it's because of its prestige. If I can get into a top-tier university, I feel like I can justify myself to my parents. After that, I can do whatever I want. So I didn't plan to graduate. I've completely stopped going to school. I'll need to find a job in the future, so might as well start looking now." This left the production crew speechless. Rio continued, "Despite having a boyfriend, I often visit nightclubs. I currently owe tens of thousands of yen that I need to repay. Next month, I'm also planning to get cosmetic surgery on my nose, eyes, and face, which will cost tens of thousands more yen." Hearing this, the production team felt unsure about what more to film. At that moment, the production team noticed many hospital-related items in Rio's home. Rio casually mentioned, "Oh, that's because I was diagnosed with uterine cancer a year ago. It's a serious condition where any slight mistake could be fatal. I've only shared this with my boyfriend and family until today. It's the first time I've talked about it with others." However, the production team observed that Rio appeared relaxed and didn't at all resemble someone facing a terminal illness. She continued, "Everyone will eventually die. Living happily is the most important thing." The production team then realized that Rio wasn't avoiding living like most people. Instead, she knew her time was limited. She could only seize the time to enjoy life, doing things she loved, such as chatting with guests and drinking. She didn't consider this to be a low-status job. On the contrary, she approached her work with great care, even keeping a notebook to record the interesting stories she heard from customers. Rio mentioned that chatting with customers helped her release the stress brought by her illness. She felt very happy now, with a handsome boyfriend, parents who loved her, and a dream she was striving for, to save money and open an izakaya before she died. Then she would use the earnings from the business to quickly repay her parents for their support. As they talked, Rio went to remove her makeup. After removing it, she revealed a youthful face full of innocence. Indeed, she was only 20 years old. Finally, Rio confided to the production team that her uterine cancer was treatable, but it would come at the cost of her fertility. Considering her boyfriend's desire to marry and have children in the future, she opted for conservative treatment. However, she acknowledged that the difficulty of achieving a cure was akin to waiting for a miracle. 5 years flew by in the blink of an eye. The production team contacted Rio again. She had transformed her entire demeanor, even opting for double eyelid surgery. She reminisced with the team about what happened several years ago. Shortly after filming that episode, she broke up with her boyfriend. It happened on a night when Rio returned home drunk after drinking. Her boyfriend insisted she make him a meal, despite her unhappiness. She complied, but when she accidentally made a loud noise placing the bowl on the table, he angrily dumped the entire bowl of food over her head and yelled at her. In that moment, something clicked for Rio. She immediately decided to call the police, who arrived at 3 a.m. to end their toxic relationship. Afterwards, Rio faced harassment at the nightclub where she worked, prompting her to heed her friend's advice and move to Osaka. Shortly thereafter, Rio decided to undergo surgery to remove a tumor from her uterus. Fortunately, the surgery did not affect her fertility. From that point on, she resolved to save money diligently and actively prepare for her future. She also met a new boyfriend. However, fate seemed to play a cruel joke on her again. This new boyfriend was suddenly diagnosed with acute leukemia and tragically passed away just 3 months into their relationship. Rio was devastated once more, but her friends encouraged her. They told her that if she could pass the real estate agent certification exam, she could join them at their workplace. Although this certification was notoriously difficult with a pass rate of only 15% and offered only once a year, but Rio was a graduate of Keio University, had already proven herself capable. With determination, she managed to pass the exam after just 1 month of intense study. Now, using the social skills she honed from her previous job, she thrived in the real estate industry. Here's hoping that her future continues to unfold smoothly.